Welcome back. So we continue our World Cup 2022 preview. Now we are with Group E, where we have the two best midfields in this World Cup, Germany and Spain. The Spanish squad is well equipped in all departments, to play the possession football that they like to play, they love to play. There's Rodri, there's Pedri, there's Ruiz, there's Koke. These are some of the best midfielders in the world. And they have yet another 18-year-old prodigy, the current holder of the Copa Trophy, Gavi. Uh, Watching Spain play, one can see that Luis Enrique has introduced a strong identity to this team. But they have one missing piece to be the top favorite, and that is they lack a clinical center forward. Interestingly, over the last decade, it is a high-intensity gegenpressing that has outsmarted, the Spanish position-based football. And they are grouped with Germany, who enjoy playing the gegenpressing. Germany, probably even worse than Spain in their weaknesses, doesn't have a proven center forward. They have opted for a late bloomer veteran in Niklas Fullkrug and a youngster who just turns 18 the day the World Cup starts, Youssoufa Moukouko. So, but unlike, Spain, Germany is weak in defense as well. In the absence of Hummels, they actually lack a leader to anchor the back line. They also don't have an idea who's supposed to play as a right back. Yes, these are all the weaknesses, but when it comes to attacking players, Germany are very, very strong. They're really good at transitions. Now you're coming to Japan, they have a lot of young energy in the team. A lot of players are playing in Europe currently. Always their team has been containing, 70 to 80% of the players who are playing in Europe. But this time, about the 8, 19 or 20 players who are coming from the Europe, they're also playing for the top European clubs as well, the ones who are playing the Europa League, Champions League, in the top 3 or 4 of the respective leagues. They generally play a bit defensive style of football, and I was a bit surprised. Even against the Asian teams, they played a bit defensively, despite being one of the strong Asian teams, or the strongest Asian team, I must say. So it won't be surprising they play very defensively against Germany or Spain, who are actually stronger than them. On the other hand, you look at Costa Rica. This is a team completely on decline. I talked about Mexico on a decline. Costa Rica is in a huge decline. Their performance in the qualifiers have been really unimpressive, the little that I have watched them. This is slightly a bit more an interesting group than what we have seen, because Germany and Spain, two top, probably not the favorites, but apart from Brazil, Argentina, and France, these are the two favorites that you might have to add. And then you have Japan, another very strong team. So this is a good group compared to anything that we have discussed till now. What do you think about this group, Rohit?
Firstly, I agree with most of what you said. These two are like seriously strong contenders for the World Cup. Yeah, if I put a jar of, say, top 6 or 7 teams that can win the World Cup, these two are there. I expect Germany to top the group because they have a lot to prove. After what happened in the last World Cup, they had a very mediocre Euro also. So this is the turn for them to come a manager who really plays a philosophy, gegenpressing. The obvious flaw which you told, their strike force is where their challenge is going to come. But they have an array of good midfielders or attacking wingers who can contribute. And also Thomas Müller is still there, so always can be called upon. And coming to Spain, again, a very top team. As you mentioned rightly, the flaw for the challenge for them is their attack going forward. Yes, Morata is considered to be a top forward, but in my eyes at least, he's not that striker who you want when you have a midfield what Spain is having. And Spain is now going, obviously we know what Spain is going to play. It is their possession football, the football that's what we have been used to with Spain for years, and they are going to keep the ball. If Morata can click, then they have a way through. Or otherwise, the midfielders will have to contribute heavily towards scoring. So this, for me, keeps Spain second. Now, this is a very obvious one too. I want to talk about, Japan. Because Japan, if in many other groups, they could have been a team to qualify from the group. It's unfortunate for them that they are with Germany and Spain. They, as you rightly pointed, they have top European players, currently, Arsenal... where right back Tomiyasu plays for them. So, and Japan, as Vaishakh again rightly pointed out, has one of the best Asian teams that is there. So I expect them to put up a really big fight. I don't see them maybe making an upset, because I believe from what happened last World Cup, teams will be wary of them. I don't expect them to make an upset, but I don't see the match is going to be a straightforward one. So that is for me, Japan. And Costa Rica, I just want to mention upon them. When this draw came out, I remember many saying that, Costa Rica is going to be conceding tons of goals. I don't expect that. Costa Rica, maybe not a great team, but they are going to be defensively strong. They are going to play the most boring football that you will see there, but ensure that they are not going to get dropped 5-0 or 6-0, which is itself something great to do when you're playing against Germany and Spain. So that's from my side.
I think you're talking about Costa Rica or Mexico. I think one thing that would favor them is the weather conditions. As far as the interesting players are concerned, of course, Spain, Pedri and Gavi is a bit more well-known players. But I think I'm more interested to see how Ansu Fati plays with Spain, because he was injured for last year or so. And Ansu Fati is one player that I'm really interested to see how he plays along in the Spanish team. And as far as Germany are concerned, the real treat to watch would be the midfield duo of Kimmich and Goretzka, or maybe Kimmich and Gundogan, or Gundogan and Goretzka. You don't know what pair would come, but the kind of form that Kimmich and Goretzka has been right now, I'm really excited to watch how do they do, and how does the veteran centre forward Niklas Fullkrug do for Germany. That might be important for Germany's success. But one player I'm really excited to watch is Jamal Musiala. Again, as I said, he might be one of the persons who might win the Young Player of the Tournament award as well. Coming to Japan, their best player, I think, is Daichi Kamada, without any doubt. He plays for Eintracht Frankfurt, who just won the Europa League, and is debatably their best player. I also would like to mention Takefusa Kubo, who was also named as a Japanese Messi when he just came to scene 2 or 3 years ago. Well, that's a hard name to survive, when you're called to be the next Messi. And much worse has happened to players who have been called the next Messi in the last decade. Kubo has survived it. He plays for Real Sociedad, who actually fights for a Champions League spot in La Liga, and he's one of the best players for the last couple of seasons. So I'm really interested to see how Kubo performs in this World Cup as well. So these are the 2 players I call from Japan. That's it from this group. Until next time, stay safe. Goodbye.